I don't have a relationship with my biological father. He left her when she got pregnant and never acknowledged that he had a child, always saying she was lying. She did prove paternity in court and got an order for child support. At the time at least, he had a job making well over 6 figures that was handed to him by his parents as well as rental properties, so the ordered amount was pretty high. He refused to pay it at all and somehow got away with it. My mother has died and I'm her only child. He's never had a relationship with me, and in this matter, I wanted justice for my mother. While I couldn't independently sue for that back child support, I could essentially sue on behalf of her estate. I won, and he owed me almost $350,000, plus my legal fees. He cried poor, but the judgment was paid almost immediately, so either he was not, or his parents bailed him out. I've seen his wife's social media, and she's posting about idiots wanting a payday and other tears. Some of my friends and family think that I shouldn't have just used the legal system to get money that wasn't technically mine. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot, he was for trying to get out of court-ordered payments. Good on you for going ahead with this and winning. Comment on his wife's post saying, yeah, I am an idiot because your husband left my mother when she was pregnant and was therefore an unwed mother. The money was technically yours, since child support is to, well, support the child. Not the idiot, OP. He abandoned you and refused to pay up. He pretended you didn't exist. He owed that money to you and your mother. You took legal action. You didn't bully, harass, or do anything wrong. You got the money he decided not to pay. I think he completely deserved this and had it coming. Your past will catch up to you, and he just did. Not the idiot, and there was something wrong with your post. At the end you mentioned using the legal system to get money that's not yours. That money is yours. It was yours from the moment your father decided he wanted to, excuse the language, screw and forget. The moment he decided he didn't want to be a father, he chose to pay that price to you. You're just getting what you're rightfully owed. Good job for going after him, and congrats on winning. My fiancé and I have been together for 4 years, and for the entire duration, he has had this female friend Trista who is super overbearing. She is one of those all eyes on me always types of chicks. For the past 2 years I have busted my butt in online college while working 2 jobs on top of that. I finally got my degree last week, and as you can imagine, I was super stoked. My fiancé is my biggest supporter. Whenever I accomplish anything, he immediately shows it off for the world to see because of how proud he is. It's super cute. So when I got my degree, he snapped a photo of it and posted it up on his social media, saying every single day this amazing woman surprises me more and more. Despite having 2 jobs, she has still managed to muscle through the stress and lack of sleep and got her degree in law. Beyond proud of my better half. Keep up the fantastic work, babe. If anyone deserves it, it's you, and tag me in it. Not even 20 minutes after he posted it, here comes Trista to put in her 2 freaking cents, as usual. She commented on it and said, I got my degree in nursing last month. Where's my shout out? He calmly responded and said, well Trista, you're my friend and I am proud of you too, but this isn't about you right now. She literally angry reacted to his response and commented again saying who cares. I still busted my chops to get there and I deserve one too. This is not the first time she has done this either, and it's only on posts that we post up about each other. She never comments on anything he posts unless I'm tagged in it. When we publicly announced that we got engaged, she immediately commented on it saying oh me too. With a picture of the ring that her, now, ex got her. Or when I posted a status up after he got his electric license, she commented on it and said my best friend is the best. 6 years and counting. She just always has to be number 1. Constantly. Anyways, seeing her whining on his post that he made specifically for me for the umpteenth time, I responded to her directly on her comment and said, believe it or not, you don't need to make everything about you. Stop pushing your self-centered bullcrap off on us 24/7. He doesn't owe you a shout out for anything. Leave us alone and let us be happy together. I said this after my fiancé expressed how irritated he was getting with her and expressed that he felt it was time to cut her out of his life because she does nothing but push herself on him. He said he was disgusted. So I said that to her and she went off, texting my BF and saying, why the hell are you with someone who doesn't respect our friendship? Among other things. At this point my response to her is blown up and other people are now commenting telling her that she is being pathetic and sounds like a jealous ex. My fiancé now has her blocked. I'm getting texts from her love buddy and some of her girlfriends saying that I only lashed out because I'm jealous and that I had no room to speak up to her for calling him out on not being supportive. Am I the idiot? Soft, everyone's the idiot here. There were options to stop this behavior without so much conflict. Boyfriend could have just updated his settings so that she doesn't see anything he posts. Unless your BF specifically asked you to step in, you shouldn't have commented back. It's his friend, he should have handled it. That's what gave her ammo to make you look bad. Not the idiot. This is not normal behavior in platonic friendship. Especially her comment about being best friends for 6 years. With the love emoji, she was trying to make the point that she's known him longer than you. So weird. I'm a girl with a male BFF and I would never do the type of crap you're describing. That's so uncomfy. She obviously can't respect boundaries and I would guess there are some hidden feelings there or something. You are aware she's in love with your man, right? Is he aware of that? She's clearly jealous and clearly wants your place in his life. That 6 years and counting comment is all you need to know. The more distance you, and more particularly your fiancé, have from her, the better. That block function in social media is great. Use it. For starters, I'm 36, an only child. My dad was a deadbeat, so my mom and I have always been extremely close. Apart from when I have girlfriends, my relationship with my mother is excellent. My mom is a very sweet person, but one of her bad habits is that she comments on people's weight. Not random strangers or anything, mind you, just people that she knows, like friends and family. Once quarantine hit, my wife, 32, got really into baking and so both of us have put on some weight, but her admittedly more. I don't care, but she's really sensitive about it. There was only one time when I made a fat joke that was totally harmless, but it made her cry, so I never made any jokes like that again. Last night my mom came by to give my son a violin lesson. She teaches violin professionally, and as she was giving instructions to my son, my wife walked by them eating a homemade cookie and my mom said to my son, "Mommy should really cut back on the cookies." What do you think? But because she said it in Russian, her home country, my wife didn't understand. My son shook his head no, and I sharply told my mother not to say things like that in my house. She seemed to understand, and then finished the lesson. After she finished the lesson, my wife asked if she'd like to stay for dinner. My mother asked what she was making, and my wife said she had a meatball lasagna in the oven and some garlic bread, and then for dessert there were more cookies. My mom said to me in Russian that I shouldn't be letting her eat dessert before and after dinner, and this really pissed me off, so I told her if she can't respect my wife she'd have to leave. She got very offended, saying this was no way to speak to my mother, and I told her that I'm married now and things are different. She refused to apologize or drop the subject, so I asked her to leave, which she did, but not quietly. My wife was extremely confused at first, but once I explained to her everything that was said she got extremely upset. She agreed my mother's comments were out of line, but thinks I should have let her stay. So now I'm not so sure. Am I the idiot here? Not the idiot. I would tell her she also needs to talk in English in your home so that your wife can understand. She is being incredibly rude because she thinks she can get away with it due to language differences. Not to mention asking your son to police his own mother. Not cool. I can't believe she didn't even show any remorse or attempt to apologize. Speaking in Russian is almost more insulting, as in how she wouldn't even say it to her face but instead make remarks behind her back to you and your son knowing she wouldn't be able to understand. You are a great husband standing up for your wife like that. Not the idiot. There is some particularly invidious about making snide comments that the target can't understand. Your mother was not only insulting your wife, she was trying to undermine her in her son's eyes. Good on him for not engaging with her and good on you for calling her out, warning her on it and not letting it be a bluff. It's a really difficult position for your wife to be in. She obviously just wants peace at home, but it's right that you are standing up for her to your mother's bullying and shaming behavior. So I live with 2 other guys and we get on great. During a recent break between lockdowns, my roommate had a few friends over for catch-up drinks, while I was out. Important for the story, I collect whiskey. I had a few opened and unopened bottles in my room. I was out when he had these friends over and apparently they ran out of booze, so they went into my unlocked room and took 2 bottles of whiskey to share. One opened and half full, one unopened. The open one was about €55. The unopened one was a gift to myself that I bought for €200, but since it was a short run, it now retails for €800 minimum. They took them not knowing how much they were, intending to replace them. When I came home he told me he took it and would buy the replacement bottles. I said no worries, but when I went to my room and saw what bottles he had taken, there were some worries. I didn't care about the open bottle at all. It was about €25 worth of whiskey, and I have been in a similar position when the off license was closed and I wanted to keep a party going. But the other bottle, I was planning on saving that until my first child was born, my wedding day, or selling it if the price got even more stupidly high. When I went down to let him know the bottle he took was stupid expensive, he had gone out. He came back a short while later with 2x bottles of bottom shelf whiskey that you could pick up in any shop for €25 to €30. I told him that no, that didn't count as replacing my whiskey. I wasn't going to make him pay €800, because he is a friend and as a rule I don't want to profit off friends, but I paid €200 for that bottle and wanted that back at least. He freaked out and said there was no way he was paying that. That it was a stupid amount to pay for alcohol. We both ended up yelling at each other and he stormed off. Over the next few hours he kept texting me, swapping from saying things like it was just a mistake to you or a moron for expecting me to pay for that, it's just a drink. I would respond with yeah, and a Ferrari is just a car, but if you broke my Ferrari and replaced it with a second-hand car, that wouldn't actually be replacing it. He called me pretentious and basically the friendship is ruined. Things elevated to the point where I said I would no longer accept $200. He now has to replace the bottle, which I know will cost him at least $800. I have no interest in being his friend and he is moving out. Am I the idiot for making him pay? My other roommate is staying out of it and refusing to take sides, but he did say he is on my side, except that it would be an idiot move to take him to court over this. So am I the idiot? Not the idiot. If someone takes something, or breaks something, they need to replace it with the same thing. Irresponsible people ruin friendships because of things like this. You were nice and offered to take 1/4 of what the bottle was actually worth. The guy was a total jerk in not accepting to pay that. He needs to learn a lesson about taking what isn't his, and accepting responsibility. If he does not pay, take him to court. Not the idiot. Going into your room and taking your whiskey isn't a mistake. He assumed the risk of not checking and he needs to make up that payment now. You should remind him you're already taking a $600 hit by not forcing him to buy an actual replacement, but that he needs to pay your cost. Whether or not it's a stupid amount of money to spend is irrelevant. It was worth that to you to buy it and he drank it without checking. I don't think it's an idiot move to take him to court. That's what small claims is for, this kind of thing. Not the idiot. I have 2 bottles of unopened whiskey that are from special batches aged 25 years. I would be livid if someone drank one without permission. Tell him he either pays you the €200 or you will take him to court for a full replacement price of €800. $200 is a bargain for him. Seriously, he needs to cough up $200 minimum even if he pays it in installments over a few months. This sounds so stupid, but I'm stressed out about it. I live in a strata with pretty good neighbors. I love where I live and we were able to buy our first house because houses built in a strata are usually cheaper than single homes. If you're outside of Canada, a strata is similar to HOA. Since I first moved in, I've had a nosy neighbor who comments on everything and everyone, trying to get you on certain sides of debates which I don't agree with doing. She told me the first day that I moved in that she was the head of the strata, which she wasn't. That's a whole other story, and told me that my next door neighbor was the biggest idiot to roam the earth. Turns out my neighbor is lovely and we get along great. This crazy neighbor of mine lives down at the end of the complex and will stop you to talk about her life and her perfect daughter for an hour. I try to steer clear if I see her outside. She asks personal questions which I avoid. Anyways, I was outside getting the mail and another neighbor walked by, noticing that I have a bump, almost halfway through my pregnancy and starting to show. We talked about it briefly and she shared congratulations. I'm walking back with my mail and noticed that nosy neighbor was listening to the conversation. She walked over and said that she should have been in the loop about my pregnancy before the other neighbors. I told her that it's none of her business and I wasn't planning on outright telling anyone anyways. It's not something that I need to share with neighbors I don't get along with especially. Anyways, I got glares from her and she stormed away after getting her mail form the post box as well. She said that this isn't the proper way for you to communicate a pregnancy to me. What the hell? Am I really an idiot for not wanting her to know about the pregnancy? Not the idiot. You don't owe her anything, and what's going on with you and your family is private. It has absolutely nothing to do with her, so you don't need to feel bad at all. Next time just say, I didn't realize my baby was yours too, congratulations. And hopefully from that she'll back off. Not the idiot. I'm not really sure what makes her so special that she should be informed first. I think you have a neighbor who hasn't figured out that they are not the center of the universe. You are going to have to develop thick skin, because she will continue to be insulted by things she has no right to be insulted by. Expect to join your neighbor in the list of people that nosy neighbor thinks are idiots. Your neighbor clearly has entitlement issues. She feels as though she deserves to know details of everyone's private lives. I'm betting the neighbor she hates refuses to share. From now on, whenever she tries to get personal, keep repeating, I'm uncomfortable sharing this with someone I'm not close to. And then walk away. Likely that she'll hate you as well, but really, would that be the worst thing?